How to create timeline in Framer. Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to explore Framer's timeline feature and create a scroll-based animated timeline from scratch. This feature allows milestones to smoothly appear from the left and right as the user scrolls with a progress bar following the center of the screen. Let's get started. Setting up the timeline component. First, go to the home page where we'll create our component. Duplicate the component so we can work from scratch. Delete the existing timeline section in the Layers panel to start fresh. I got this template, by the way, online, so if you want a template like this, you can get it online too. Now let's start building the timeline from scratch. First is to add a text layer and label it as header for the milestone. Add another layer or add another text layer for the milestone details. We'll write some really interesting text about how I achieved the milestone. Take note that if you want to get a text layer, you can simply do a keyboard shortcut that will be shown here as well in the header section, where you can find this text icon with a letter T on it. Now group the header and body text together by selecting both and wrapping them in a stack. Let's name this stack content. You can do this by selecting the two of them and then just right click on your mouse and then click on add stack. Now structuring the timeline layout. Create two more stacks. Name the first one progress bar, this will contain the animated bar and dot, and name the second one spacer, which we will be using for spacing the layout. Second is to delete any extra frames inside the spacer stack that we don't need. Now rearrange the layout. Move the spacer under content, place progress bar in between them, move the entire timeline section to the top, and then group these stacks into a parent stack and name it timeline row. Let's set the timeline row to horizontal alignment for proper structure. Let's move on to styling the components. Set the content stack width to 45% relative. Add padding of 24 pixels to the content stack. Apply a preset background color, which is, I'm going to choose purple, and then rounded corners, go up until 16 pixels and then add a border of 3 pixels. Next is style the header text with preset styles, and then ensure the milestone body text wraps properly by setting width to fill. Styling the progress bar. Set the progress bar to vertical alignment. Add a small frame inside for the circular milestone marker, which we will call the animated blob. Now set its width and height to 50 pixels. Fix the aspect ratio to 50 by 50 so it remains a circle. You can apply a purple background color or any color you want, but if you want an easy color choice, you can just pick from the sets right here, and then set radius to 30 pixels to maintain its natural or circular shape. Next is to add a border. Let's create another frame for the progress bar itself. Name it bar fill and set the width to 3 pixels and height to 300 pixels. Apply a black background and make sure it sits inside the progress bar stack. Now let's fix some layout issues. Set progress bar height to fit content, and then set progress bar width to 10%. Ensure spacer matches the width of the milestone content, which is 45%, and set gap between elements to 0 for proper alignment. Now let's add scroll animations. Wrap the entire timeline row in a scroll section. Inside the progress bar, wrap the bar fill inside another frame. This will allow us to animate it separately. Next is to animate the bar fill. choose the bar fill section and then add an effect, and then choose among these choices scroll transform. Now let's select section in view. For section, let's choose timeline row 1, which is what we created earlier, and then offset the Y position by negative 300 pixels to animate it upwards. Set the opacity to 1 and scale to 1. Next, let's animate the circular milestone marker. Add again a scroll animation. Choose section in view, and then choose timeline row 1 once again, and then scale it in smoothly as it scrolls into view. Fifth is to animate the content stack. You can add scroll animation, choose section in view, timeline row 1, and then apply a slide in effect from the left. Now that we have done all of the animations, let's try to view it. As you can see, it works perfectly. And now that our first row is working, we'll duplicate it to create more milestones. What we're going to do is to wrap everything in a vertical stack and name it timeline. Now duplicate the timeline row multiple times to create a complete timeline. For the last row, remove the final progress bar so it doesn't extend beyond the last milestone, so that it just fits together properly and it ends appropriately as well. And since all the timeline rows are currently using the same scroll section name, Framer is automatically identifying them. However, it's best practice to rename each scroll section uniquely, which I will be skipping for now. But if you want, you can rename all scroll sections to timeline row 1, timeline row 2, etc. You can rearrange milestone positions so they alternate correctly as well. And then you can also apply different colors to each milestone. Like, for example, you want to color it green, pink, blue, etc., aside from violet or purple. And now that everything is in place, preview the project and test scrolling animations. Ensure that milestones appear one by one as you scroll, the progress bar fills up correctly, and animations are smooth and visually appealing. Or the design adapts well to all screen sizes. Take note that you can preview the screen sizes as they have a built-in feature wherein you can view it from mobile or desktop. And that's it. We've successfully built an animated timeline in Framer. If you want a template like this, you can also get it online as I have said earlier. And if you enjoyed this tutorial, don't forget to like and subscribe. I leave a remix link below so you can use this timeline in your own projects. Until next time, cheers!